4, 5, 6, 2, 8.
Find me on Instagram fatgirlslums_121.
Hi all, my name is Naz. For those who don't follow me on Instagram or on Facebook, just give you a little bit of a background history. I did the one-to-one diet by Cambridge Weight Plan in 2014, and I managed to lose 6 stone in weight, and I went from a size 20 to 22 to a size 10 to 12. I managed to keep the majority of the weight off, although I did sort of fluctuate and go up to another stone and a half, but I was still in the size 12s for a good couple of years. But then old habits started to sneak in. I tend to be a bit of a comfort and binge eater, and I let my emotions get to me, and slowly the weight started to creep back up until last year I got back to about 13 and a half stone and a size 14. So I have been sort of on and off Cambridge Weight Plan, trying to get myself back in control since last year. But then back in July, something happened to completely throw me off plan. On July the 26th, I lost my sister. She was murdered, and as you can imagine, it was just the worst thing that could ever happen to me. And as I've explained, I'm a bit of a comfort eater, so I turned to what I always turn to, and I turned to food, and I turned to burying my emotions and my unhappiness in junk food and just not caring. So since then, I've piled on another 3 stones in a matter of months, 5 months now. I'm sorry. Since then, it's literally been one thing after another. I lost my sister in July, and then I lost my consultant and my mentor and friend, Lawrence Brown, who got me to my lowest weight, and who always supported me and believed in me and saw the best in me. I lost him in January. So that was another blow. And last week I found out that my brother, who has been fighting cancer, who is the 3rd time round, he's been told that it's no longer treatable, and he only has about 6 months to live without treatment, about a year with. I just feel like I'm living a constant, never-ending nightmare. And as my life spirals out of control, my weight has spiraled out of control. But I need to pull back that control, because it's not doing me any good. Not emotionally, not mentally. I know in my heart and in my head, I know that overeating and putting all this weight back on isn't going to be helping anything, isn't going to bring my loved ones back, isn't going to help my brother. And I know that it's not going to help me and my children. When I started Cambridge back in 2014, my biggest why was my children. I promised my daughter especially that by the time she was old enough to understand, mummy would have had us shit sorted out and wouldn't have this unhealthy relationship with food, wouldn't be constantly binge eating and comfort eating and constantly on diets, because I'm just teaching her to eat, have an unhealthy relationship with food herself. I'm teaching her to hate her body and just it's not what I want for her. I want her to be a strong, independent woman. I want her to love herself. I want her to have a healthy relationship with food. Of course, it's the same for my sons, but I think women probably suffer of body consciousness and body issues more than men do. And I didn't want that for her. And she was my biggest why. So when I started in 2014, that was my promise to her, and I did it. I succeeded. I never got to my ideal goal, which Lawrence always said to me should have been 8.5 to 9 stone. But at 11 stone, I was in size 10s, and I was happy. So now I've decided 2 days ago that I need to sort my shit out. I need to remember my whys again. Lawrence always used to say to me, you know, you need to have a reason, you know, you need to have a why. It's not a case of I want to lose weight. You need to have a target. You need to know what you're doing. So 2 days ago, I restarted back on plan. This is day 3. I'm on step 1A. So I'm having 3 products a day. If I get super hungry, some days I may have 4 products a day. And 3 litres of water, although I've been really bad with the water, so I know I need to step that up. I'm nearly back to the weight I was when I first began in 2014. So my aim is to get firstly to 10 stone and then reevaluate, and then maybe lose another stone off that to 9 stone. But when I first began, my first target was 10 stone and I got to 11. And like I said, I was in 10s, at a push 12s in some shops as 11 stone. So my first target for myself is to get to 10 stone and see how I get on. My whys. First and foremost, my biggest why has to be myself. Lawrence used to always say, you have to love yourself, and you have to do this for yourself first and foremost before anybody else. If you don't love yourself, how can others love you? If you don't respect yourself and want this for yourself, how can anyone else respect you? So first and foremost, I'm doing this for me, for my own sanity, for my health, for my emotional well-being, because I'm not happy like this. I'm not. I'm suffering emotionally, mentally, physically. You know, carrying all this extra weight doesn't make me feel good. My knees have started hurting again. I feel sluggish. I feel tired. None of my clothes fit, which makes me feel horrible. To the point where, you know, I feel like I take up too much space. I feel apologetic for being this size. I know that sounds ridiculous, but over the weekend I went to Leicester to a karate competition with my son, and while he was going to fight, I knelt down on the side waiting for him so I could video him, and I felt like I was taking up too much space. People were passing by, one tripped over my feet, and I kept apologising, sorry. And even though there were other people doing the same thing and leaning down, and I felt like I was taking up too much space. I feel apologetic for this bulk of person that I am. And I don't want to feel like that. I don't want to feel like I have to apologise for being me. I don't want to feel like I'm a burden. I don't want to feel like this. So this is week 1. I'm on day 3. My whys, myself, my children, my promise to Lawrence, my sister, who was so proud of me, my brother, my family. I'm so sorry. This is a bit of a downer and a sad video blog. I didn't want my first one to be like this, but I felt like I had to explain where I'm coming from and where I am and why I've got back to this point. I don't want to give you excuses. There's no excuses, really. It's not an excuse, it's a reason. I am a comfort eater, a binge eater, and I let my emotions get to me. And I need to stop doing that. I would really appreciate everyone's help, support and love. Feel free to message me, leave a comment and let me know how you're all getting on. And, you know, for anyone in the same boat, take one day at a time. Don't let your emotions beat you. And we can do this. So I will do a blog or a video blog once a week after my weigh-ins to let you know how I'm getting on. Thanks for listening and sending out all my love. Bye.
Find me on Instagram fatgirlslums_121.